When folks picture a World War II airplane, they often think of the B-17. But nothing says American might like the F4U Corsair. With its bent wings, it was a symbol of American ingenuity. It first took to the skies in 1940, packed with a powerful Pratt & Whitney engine, over 2,000 horsepower, making it the fastest fighter from an aircraft carrier. The inverted gull-wing design was pure engineering genius. Speeds over 400 miles per hour, tough as nails and in a league of its own in combat. Now, getting the Corsair from the drawing board to the battlefield wasn't all sunshine and roses. There were bumps along the way, like with any new invention. You see, that big ol' engine and the bent wings, while revolutionary, created some challenges for our boys trying to land these birds on those tiny move-in airfields we call aircraft carriers. Visibility was a real issue. That long nose, while perfect for housing that beast of an engine, made it tough for pilots to see where they were going when coming in for a landing. And those powerful engines, well, they didn't exactly make the Corsair easy to handle at low speeds. But our engineers, they were a determined bunch. They tinkered and tested, and eventually they ironed out most of the kinks. They added a little something called a landing gear indicator to help with visibility, and pilots learned to adapt their landing techniques. And wouldn't you know it, the Corsair went on to become one of the most successful carrier-based fighters of the war. It just goes to show, sometimes the best things in life take a little extra effort, a little elbow grease to truly shine. The Corsair first dipped its wings into combat in the Pacific Theater with the U.S. Marine Corps. You see, the Navy, they were a little hesitant about the Corsair at first, what with those land-in challenges and all. But the Marines, they were a different breed. They saw the potential in that tough bird, and boy, did the Corsair deliver. The Japanese, they called the Corsair whistling death because of the sound its engine made, a sound that sent chills down their spines. And for good reason. The Corsair was a fearsome opponent in the air, outmaneuvering and outgunning anything the Japanese could throw at it. One group of Corsair pilots, the Black Sheep Squadron, led by a fella named Gregory "Pappy" Boyington, became the stuff of legends. Boyington, he was a character, that's for sure. A real ace pilot, he racked up an incredible number of victories against the enemy. But it wasn't just Boyington. All those Corsair pilots, flying mission after mission over those tiny islands, they showed the world what courage and determination looked like. They were instrumental in securing victory in the Pacific, and the Corsair, it became their trusted steed, their weapon of choice. Section 4, Korean Showdown, the Corsair's second act. Now, you'd think after a war like that, the Corsair would be ready for a little rest, maybe a retirement to a museum somewhere. Not a chance. When the Korean War broke out in 1950, the Corsair got called back into action, and it proved it still had what it took to mix it up with the best of them. This time around, the Corsair was mostly used for ground attack and close air support. It was a real lifesaver for our boys on the ground, swooping in low and slow, unleashing its fury on enemy positions. One of the most remarkable things about the Corsair in Korea was its versatility. It could carry bombs, rockets, you name it. It was a real jack-of-all-trades, and it did it all with that same toughness and reliability that made it famous in World War II. And wouldn't you know it, the Corsair even tangled with those newfangled jet fighters, the MiG-15s. Now, the MiG was faster, that's for sure, but the Corsair, it was more maneuverable, and our pilots, they were no slouches in the cockpit. There were even a few instances of Corsairs shooting down MiGs, proving that sometimes experience and grit can trump raw speed. Section 5, A Legacy Etched in the Sky. Eventually, all good things must come to an end. By the mid-1950s, the Corsair, it was getting a little long in the tooth. The jet age was upon us, and there were newer, faster planes taken to the skies. But even though the Corsair was retired from military service, its legacy lived on. Over 12,500 of these magnificent machines were built, and they served not just with the United States, but with other countries around the world as well. The Corsair left an indelible mark on aviation history. It was one of the most successful piston engine fighters ever built, and its distinctive design, that bent-wing beauty, became an icon of American air power. And when we look back on the Corsair, we remember not just the plane itself, but the brave men who flew it. Those pilots, they were the ones who truly made the Corsair a legend. They flew it with skill and courage, and they helped secure victory in two of the most important conflicts in human history. Their stories, and the story of the F4U Corsair, will continue to inspire generations to come. And a special thanks to Coyote Mountain Film Productions in Norco, California, for helping us bring this story to life.